Hello and welcome. This evening I have the beautiful Michelle and Amy Satori. How are you guys going?
Hi everyone.
Mhm.
And this evening we're going to be discussing the thing in the arm and not really looking at, one side or the other, but we're going to be looking all around it just to kind of see what we get. And hopefully that will prompt everybody to employ some critical thought in their situation. Does that sound about right?
That's right. Yeah, we're not promoting
Don't say
anything
that.
in the
Don't say that
arm.
word
Yeah, we're not
too many
promoting
times.
anything in the arm. I've already forgotten. Um, we're not promoting anything. We're not medical advisors. We're not scientists. We've just had a lot of questions sent to both of us, me and Amy, that have prompted us to look at all of these things in a bit more detail. And hopefully between us today, we might be able to find just another angle on everything that's going on.
Cool.
Do you think that, Amy? Is that your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's so important at this time that we do critical thinking, that we think outside the box during a time like this, and don't just go down some kind of road that everybody else is going down. We have to almost create a third path, or just at least think outside the box and be creative, and maybe come up with, since I think right now is a really big time for all of us to learn how to depend on our intuition. So that's going to be guiding us forward, and we got to listen to our gut instincts, and just don't just follow what anyone else is doing on either side of the camp, either camp.
Yeah. Alrighty, so let's get into it then. We'll be starting with the magnetic shield, and the first question is the diminishing magnetic shield around the Earth creating energies so powerful to affect those who inhabit the Earth?
Absolutely. 100%.
Would you like
Okay.
to expand on?
Hands
Was that
down.
a yes no question, or is that a
Well, Amy gets different feedback to me. So I normally get a conversation, and Amy will sometimes get a yes or no, and sometimes you'll get something coming in light language or
Okay. So I don't know. No, okay. I don't have a lot of knowledge about some of these things that we're going to be talking about, and on purpose in a way. But I do get that if there is a nefarious thing behind that, if there's something that people have worried about. I just pulled a world truth card and a tarot card, and the world truth card says this institution or system is being completely destroyed and will no longer exist because it was too heavily polluted or toxic energetically or otherwise. Its energy needs clearing. And then the Six of Swords is about going away from negativity and drama. And it's this is the card that I pull if I'm worried about something or concerned. It says, don't worry. So that would be also a yes. And yeah, I do speak some light language. It just didn't come to me at that moment.
Okay, so what I got for that question is the diminishing magnetic shield around Earth creating energies so powerful to affect those who inhabit Earth. I got yes and no. They told me that a change in the photon belt is creating a passage for more powerful rays of energy to reach the Earth, and that these rays are affecting organic matter, and that at this time humans are needing to adjust their vibration in order to assimilate these photonic rays. And this can cause heart flutters and the feeling of burning up, and in some cases even death, as the organic carbon matter of the body becomes vibrationally more crystalline. The organic matter vibrates to the resonance of the crystalline grids as it becomes activated. And an increase in vibration causes the energetic system to vibrate more quickly, causing the chakra system to also spin more quickly. The vibrations, sounds, and harmonics of the chakra system create an attraction. So what we vibrate, we attract.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you felt anything else when I was talking there.
Well, I've been feeling a really heavy push for Qigong and Tai Chi. And I think that is why, is because it's, I just saw like the going faster thing that you're describing, the vibrating faster thing, and it's helping us become more crystalline all the time.
Yeah.
So if anybody can do energy work, any kind of energy work, Reiki or chakra balancing or Tai Chi or Qigong, something to move the Qi, it's really going to help you adapt.
Yeah.
At this time.
So the point of this question is that what came out in the answer was that this can cause physical reactions in our bodies.
Yes.
When we're looking at everything today, we want everyone to look at all the possible causes, the big picture, and not just to get caught up in, is it this, is it something else, to look at everything that could be going on.
Good point.
Everything that could be going on. So that's why I started with that question.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a really good point, because it was about 6 months ago. I was sitting here trying to do some work. I had this really intense experience, which it's hard to explain. But basically, I felt really like super dizzy, and my vision went all weird, and I couldn't hear properly. And I had to go lie down, and I thought I heard a plane fly over the top of the house, and I don't live anywhere near an airport. And ever since then, and it was almost excruciating for like a couple of, a few seconds, maybe 10 seconds or something. Then it dissipated. But I've just had like high pitched noises in my hearing, like ever since then. And and it's still here. Like I still can hear it. And it's really odd.
And I had a the other morning I woke up and I heard a beat, and it's I don't have any idea where it came from, but I think I touched my nose or something, and I heard
You're turning into a robot.
And it went beep, and I was like, and it woke me up because I was like, that doesn't sound normal. Like, what was that? But I've had all kinds of like laying down and having all these experiences, almost like timeline shifts too, like morphing. I've even wondered, like I've woke up and wondered, am I is this a spaceship? Are we in a simulation right now? Maybe we're not even on the earth anymore. And so there's been some crazy stuff like that. And I know one gal too there in Australia who just went through something excruciating for like 3 days, to where it was debilitating. She was crawling on the floor, and she and I were feeling into our intuition the whole time. Yeah. And she's like, I'm not dying, am I? This is just ascension, right? And I was like, it's ascension. Hold on.
Yeah, that's
and she
crazy.
got through it.
I would have been like that. Like I couldn't even stand. I had to go lie down. It wasn't 3 days. Lucky it was like 30 seconds, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still intense,
there's a lot of that going on. Yeah.
Still very intense. And it just shows, doesn't it, that these energies are very powerful, and that a lot of symptoms could be, like Amy said, just ascension symptoms, because this is what ascension looks like. It can affect us in lots of different ways.
You get sickness and and like a week later I was sitting here and I felt like I was flying. I was just sitting here and I felt like I was levitating for a little bit. It was really
I get that sometimes. And you know what? I just got an angel in my ear. So let me speak to this for a minute. Hama nata insa shihe na ake no puma mahatna ke insa. Shanta sela na puma na ke na taisan. They're said that they're trying to make it as seamless as possible. Harakina na taisan say she puma ma'an. But yes, some of them are rather severe. It's better if people don't put up you can put up kind of a block and make it more, it'll hurt you more if you don't just go with the flow. Don't
resist it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like whatever you get right now, whatever you find out you have, or whatever symptoms you have, slough it off. It wouldn't hurt you anyway. Whatever it is, if you're boosting your immune system and whatnot, no matter what you think you have, Just don't pay it any mind at all, and just know that it's going to flow right on through, and just have that kind of faith and do whatever healing you can for yourself. And, this is also a time of us learning how to heal ourselves.
Sure.
So,
Well, part two of that question, wasn't it, David, was what can we do to
What we do to
help
assist the
ourselves?
body, yeah,
Yeah, and
as
you
it becomes
just
more
answered
crystalline.
that. And they gave
I
me
need
some,
that a lot.
well, they gave us some practical things that we can do, which was obviously to drink pure water and herbal tea, to drink to eat organic food, to surround ourselves with crystals, plants, and animals, to rest and meditate in nature, to take potassium and magnesium, which can also be called tissue salts, to rest as and when necessary. And the most important thing is like just to not strive and not to keep trying to do things all the time, just get used to being. Because like at 5D, it's about being, it's not about striving every day. It's not about the rat race. It's about just being in the moment. That was interesting that your angel came through and said those things, wasn't it?
Yeah. And even if you find out you have cancer or something that's really scary, it doesn't have to mean anything. And there are natural remedies for everything they've kept from us.
Yeah.
So at this time, it's a time of going back to natural and organic. And we really got to think outside the box and come up with solutions that we wouldn't have normally. It's a lot of times it's the cure that ends up hurting or even killing people, as opposed to that, if you would have gone a natural route.
Yeah.
And we're finding this out. That they will tell us for our safety, it's not been proven that is effective, or that may even cause death. And it's actually like, no, it could save you. That's, anyway, we won't get into their agenda and whatnot, but
no,
there are natural means of helping everything. And I'm happy to share with anybody too. I have a list that I've been emailing people of some good immune boosting products. But again, Qigong is one of the most powerful ways, Qigong or Tai Chi, something that will just constantly flush your body, is one of the best ways you can replenish your system and heal anything. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's really good advice, because both those practices also ground you. It's very important right now to keep making sure you're very grounded, because these very intense energies will make you feel like you're floating and lifting up. And sometimes if I get up too early and I rush out and I do a dog walk, I often feel like I'm out of the house, but I haven't actually left yet. I know that sounds weird, but it's like, because you're vibrating at such a high level, it's almost like your physical body hasn't caught up yet with what you're actually doing. So you're like vibrationally already at the park, but your body is kind of still back at home. I know that sounds very strange, but I often feel like I've split.
Totally.
I feel like I've split,
Well,
which is
I just had it happen this morning. I kind of staggered a little bit, like, whoa. And then I look over and my cat Nala did the same thing. And I was like, well, you're in this too, huh? Like, I was like, whoa, where are we? Like we were on a boat or something,
Yeah, it's very strange. Very strange.
Alrighty, so we're going to doctors now. And first question is, what is the role of doctors and scientists at this time?
The role of doctors and scientists. Well, boy, that's a good one.
So, yeah, it's probably a few things.
Yeah, I just got the word placeholders. That's interesting. They're playing a role. It's like they're playing a role in the movie. And I know that I feel like doctors are going to become obsolete. They're fading. And the scientists are there's a lot of scientific journals that have been faked too. So you never know what's real or what's not. So that makes sense why they would say placeholders. And I just saw the word script. I feel like there are scripts on both sides that both have been following. And I feel like there are doctors who are intentionally harming people and they're getting paid for it. But I
Yeah,
feel like there are
I've heard that.
also, yeah, and I feel like there are also doctors who are just going along because they really weren't very well educated. You know, how many doctors do you know actually know anything about nutrition or anything organic?
Not many.
You know, so I feel like there's just a lot of, well, this is just what you do. You go get your driver's license and you go get you got your birth certificate, and then you go stand in line, and then you go get this next piece of documentation that makes you a person. You know, it's like they're part of that whole system of just that program.
Yeah, for sure.
But I just saw it poof, like dissipate. So I don't know if there's going to be like a moment that happens, or they just said integrity too. So it's like integrity is coming. I feel like that scientists were a way of proving things to doctors for doctors to believe, is what I
Right.
just got.
Okay.
So it's a whole feeding into the system thing. The same
Yeah,
thing is like,
makes
look, when I
sense.
get cancer, I go get scanned, I go get this done, and I go to get that done, and you go to a doctor, you know, and there's all this like why we have to get a disclaimer and stuff like that. I don't think even that it goes into a whole other thing too. So, but placeholders, they're placeholders playing a script, but like just rattling off what they've been told by whoever is, you know, pulling the strings.
Mm.
Wow. So there were 4 questions that you've basically
She pretty
just
much answered all of them.
and I'm just going to go down them all. Okay.
Yeah,
And you're
you
going to
you
see
can
how
do them.
you're going to see how
Oh.
this lines up.
Let me, okay, this has come to, or is soon to come to, a happy ending. It has played itself out and is being resolved now. Relief is at hand.
Wow.
Okay. So what I got to the question start, which was, what is the role of the doctors and the scientists at this time? They said that some doctors have been recruited by an army of light called the Alliance to help humanity awaken at this time through the vaccine storyline. You said script. And I said, are some doctors being fed disinformation? And they said yes and no. They said those who have been recruited by the army of light, the Alliance, they have specific information which is being disseminated in a way to awaken the masses. And I said, is the information sometimes designed to create distraction and misinformation? And they said yes and no. They said there is a specific strategy in play with the storyline. And I said, are they able to fully disclose this to me at this time? And they said, it's not possible at this time, damn. They said some part of this agenda still needs to play out. So they're still not happy to give me, you know, what the twist is yet. We know there's going to be a twist to this storyline, but because there's obviously a strategy involved here, it's not time for them to give me the next update that I'm aware of.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Just a heads up, for some reason it's telling me that I have 10 minutes left, so we'll go, when it hits 0, we'll go out and we'll come back in.
Okay, and just to back you up, I just got Temperance and King of Cups. Temperance is about how everything's going to come into balance in time, and that it is being divinely guided and or orchestrated, like, you know, the angels are watching over us. And the King of Cups is like a psychological operation.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can the King of Cups also refer to like Mr. T? Could that be him? That card, could that represent a person?
Yeah, it could.
And would it be him?
Well, usually he's the King of Wands.
Okay.
And the Knight of Wands is the military.
Okay.
So, but I mean, it could be if that's what he stands, you know, if you do your own deck and that's what, you know, he shows up as, then yeah.
Okay.
It's also, I mean, my thing is true love. So, I mean, a King of Cups is somebody who loves you and isn't telling you, you know. So there's several meanings to all these cards, but you know, in in this setting, and for as an answer and as a response to what you said, or confirmation of what you said, yeah, you're right on.
Okay.
All right, cool. So now we're going on to the ingredients of the thing that goes in your arm. So the first question
Oh, boy.
is
Oh,
there
are we doing? Sorry, David. Are we doing the White Hats and Alliance first? Section D.
I didn't get that one. I didn't get that
Oh,
sheet.
okay, that's
Yeah.
fine. We'll skip that one then. So
we can
what
do that
on?
if you have the questions.
Why don't? Yeah, you could ask it.
Okay.
Because I just
I
don't
don't
have
know
that.
why you didn't get that. Sorry about that.
It's all right.
So the question one for White Hats and Alliance, Amy, was: are the White Hats in control?
Oh, I just got a big yes.
Yeah,
not playing says ancient. Okay, it is as it appears. Well, someone's being framed or blamed for something they didn't do. Look deeper into the situation to find the truth, because they're innocent. That's interesting. There is divine intervention and timing at play in this situation, so don't worry. Spirits and ETs are or will step in just at the perfect time. Oh my gosh, this institution or system is being taken over by good people, is being revamped, and it will no longer exist as it's been. If possible, it will not be closed, but repurposed. Yeah.
So for are the White Hats in control, I got absolutely. They said all operational control is being managed by the White Hats now. And then the next part of the question was, has the New World Order been totally hijacked by the White Hats?
I get a yes. Yep.
Okay. So I got no, but listen to what they said after. Certain elements of the Dark New World Agenda for 2030 have been adopted by the White Hats and reversed.
Yeah.
So what does that mean exactly? I mean,
so I asked for what elements. So the New World Order had a plan for 2030,
right?
And what they're saying is the White Hats have taken certain aspects of that story and they've reversed it. And I asked them what elements, and they said this: the internet, mobile tech like the phones, the financial system, which is the quantum financial system, and Nazara Jasara. So what the New World Order were planning to do in those respects, the White Hats have turned it. They've reversed it. They've used those subjects and reversed them.
Mm-hmm.
So when Amy said, yes, they've reversed it all, I think what they're saying is they've only reversed the bits or taken over the bits they thought were good for us, and the other bits, they've just dropped it. The White Hats have dropped it.
But in saying that, obviously they had those bits that they've reversed are going to be the opposite of what they originally intended, even though they may be using the same names or something, right? So
yeah,
they would have sold it to us as Nasara Jasara in 2030 as this being this amazing thing that's going to revolutionize the financial system and whatever, but it was actually going to be terrible.
yeah,
yeah. And can I intervene for a second?
Yeah.
What the tarot cards have been saying is that there is a sense of overcoming, though. There is a sense of having to be strong and overcoming. So, I mean, you can imagine it's like they're trying to steer it in the right direction, and they still have, and then they have people's collective beliefs contributing, because we all are creating our future by what we're thinking and believing. So I feel like there is a bit of a struggle to it, but I get a yes, and then this is them being in charge and in control and in their element in a way. And this is our dreams coming true. And this is like a gift from God, miracles, and us having everything we've ever wanted in this situation. So those are very reassuring cards.
And the last part of that question, Amy, was actually what elements of the New World Order or agenda have been left the same by the White Hats? And they said nothing has, because everything has been reversed by them where it's needed to aid humanity and not to harm it. So that basically is what your cards were just saying as well. So the White Hats The White
Yeah,
Hats. The White Hats have taken everything that the New World Order were trying to do, and anything that can serve humanity, they've now reversed it in our favor. And anything that wasn't for our good, they've just like dismissed it. It's just going to be dropped.
I have a cat that looks very, very similar to that.
And I got as you were listing off all the things, I got a yes on every one of them. I just wanted to double check. I just, I don't want to give false hope or anything,
Yeah, that's
so
incredible.
I get a yes.
So you could say essentially that they are in control then, because if they've reversed them and also gotten rid of the whatever was going to harm us, then to me that seems like they're in control.
Absolutely. David, did you have the part called nanotech?
I've got part F, or
E. Have you
I've
not got E?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do, yeah.
Nanotech. Oh,
yeah,
brilliant.
we do that one.
That's the next section.
Okay, cool. All right, nanotech in the current thing that goes in your arm, is it active?
Ooh. Oh, this is for me. Is it active? Yes.
Oh, we've got 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes.
I feel, oh, good. I think it depends on the thing. I think it depends. There are some things that are laying dormant and some that are active. So yes and no.
Like maybe some placebos.
Yes, some placebos, but also some that they were meaning to charge up or give direction to at some point in the future.
Right.
And that may have been hijacked. I just got hijacked.
Okay.
So like Michelle was saying, like they were gonna I don't know, like murder people who have a certain race or color or something, and at sometime in the future at their convenience, and somehow they've taken over it, and that's not going to happen now. In fact, now it's going to heal those people, or now it's that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like turned it for good somehow.
Okay, we got less than 1 minute, Michelle. We'll get out of this one because we probably won't have time to hear anything before it cuts off.
Transforming it into success.
That's good news.
Okay.
Yeah.
We are now. So just a recap on that question. You've got for the first question.
Yeah.
Nanotech in the current thing active?
So I know Amy gave a really long explanation, but I just got no for that question.
Good. Nice and short.
Sometimes it just goes like that. And then other times, I'm reading off like 4 pages. So you never know how it's going to go.
All right.
Okay.
Is it modifying DNA?
I did just get something. Well, I get maybe that's an answer to what you were just asking. I just saw the star card. The star card is about healing. So let me just check in though. Hang on a minute. Is it tampering with our DNA, you were asking?
Yeah, modifying. Yeah.
Is it modifying? Are the things modifying our DNA? Were they modifying our DNA? Yeah, past. I get past.
That was the original intent, but they're not anymore.
Yeah. Okay, not chance. Yeah, that's an idea that was yes, that was thwarted, I guess. What's interesting? Oh, is that years? Are you talking about years or months? Months or years? Months or years? I guess it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It was in the past. It was in the past. And I don't. Yeah. Okay. That's interesting though. I've never even thought to ask that question. Like I haven't stopped to ask that.
Mm-hmm.
So is it modifying DNA? They said not yet. And I said not yet. What do you mean not yet? And they said the nanotech is currently benign as the system to control it is not yet switched on. So I said, well, what is the system? Is it Starlink? They said, yes. I said, is it Tesla? They said, yes, similar. You got the healing, right?
Yeah.
I said, is it 5G or 6G? They said, no. So they're saying that the modifying of the DNA is not yet switched. The nanotech that can do that is not yet switched on. But when it is switched on, it will link to Starlink or something similar to what they're calling Tesla. But they're saying it won't be switched on to a 5G or a 6G. So that was interesting because Amy got it would be something to do with healing.
That is interesting because, I mean, when you ask that question, the first thing that pops in my mind is that everybody's worried that it's going to be damaging us. And I've even heard with the med beds that people whose DNA has been tampered with through these things cannot be helped. That it's only those who have retained their DNA as it is, as a human being, basically. Those are the only ones who can be helped with the med beds. That's been my understanding. So that is interesting. That you went to that other direction with it, that it's being tampered with, but for our health.
But as we go through, Amy, you said a couple of times something to do with the past. And in a minute, when we get onto some other questions, you'll see why that's relevant.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next question is, are the V's infiltrated with nanoparticles, nanotech, as a way to create an open borders situation in the future? For example, can the nanotech be used to open borders in the future? How will this happen going forward? What do borders mean? Do you mean like portals? Is that what you mean?
No, I mean like travel, like going abroad.
Okay. So can the nanoparticles or nanobots open borders?
Can they be used to create an open border situation in the future?
I get a yes, but let me check. I'm a kind sensation. I can absolutely. They just they just said open door. Can she seen sound saying? Okay, let's see what I get here. There's going to be a lot of from mental conflict to celebrating, and then a fresh new start, secrets coming out, a lot of different opinions weighing in, but essentially going for in a big yes and victorious clarity. Another yes. Yeah. But I think we're going to have to overcome, obviously what people think, it's a lot of this that we're pondering is going to be difficult for people to swallow, considering that they've been, buying into the narrative. But this involves exuberance, excitement, delight, and relief. This caused or will cause great satisfaction and extreme joy. Wow.
I've always got that this storyline with this, it's got a big twist and it's not what everyone's saying it is. And the answer to the open borders.
Can I just say this real quick? Because this is awesome. Yeah, whoa. The institution is, again, the institution or system is being completely destroyed and will no longer exist. And then the other card is what you're inquiring about has to do with going to higher dimensions of reality. Ascension and evolution are occurring swiftly. Humanity is awakening at a rapid rate.
Yeah, this system can't work unless people are at the right level.
Both systems can't work unless people are at the right level, really.
Good catch. Good catch.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are you talking about?
Are the vaccines infiltrated with nanoparticles or tech as a way to create open borders? And they said yes. And did you ask the next bit, David? I can't remember. Did you say how will this happen going forward? Did you ask that
says,
question?
can the nanotech be used to open borders in the future? And how will this happen?
Yeah, how will this happen? So they're saying that the nanoparticles create a circuit within the hydrogels, which can be connected to the outside source. So we've already been told over here that they can connect it to Starlink and something similar to Tesla, which are healing frequencies. They're saying that the outside source could map where someone is based if necessary, which would allow for the removal of a border control, as people will be able to move around freely. So then I said, actually what Amy brought up, people are going to be, oh, wow, we're being watched. So I said, is this not a form of surveillance that could be deemed nefarious? And they said no, because the technology overseeing this tech has many backstops and securities or checks which will not allow for the system to be used in a negative, nefarious way. They're saying to be part of this quantum system, all countries have to be signed in to a peace treaty, which requires them not only to be at peace with other countries, but also to be at peace with their own people and all the sovereign beings that are traveling through their international zones. So I said, who will man this operation of the open borders? They said the quantum computing system will oversee the movement of the people via a programmed response based on freedom and peace to humanity. They're saying that the world was not created with borders or postcodes. And I said, what about criminals on the run? And they said, where's someone, because obviously they're saying it's not a nefarious system. So what if someone's done something wrong and they're on the run? They're saying where someone has committed a crime, then the system can alert the authorities on the ground. And I said, could the system be hacked or make mistakes? And they said the system, the quantum system, cannot be hacked and has been designed and programmed with stops and balances to only operate for the good of humanity. And they said that the Galactic Federation have been overseeing this project. And something I just want to add there, which is not written in my response, but it's something I've been working on for a couple of weeks, is that the Starlink system is an international system, and each country has to sign into its part of it. It has to sign like a contract, a treaty, if you like, saying that if it has its part of the system in place and it uses it for its banking and its healing and its travel and whatever else it's going to be used for, that it will abide to these NESARA JASARA framework guidelines. So if in the future a country decided it was going to start using it like a credit score system, what could happen is that the rest of the countries will shut you down. So England would be shut down. As soon as Boris Johnson or anybody like that started to try and surveil us for anything other than peace and freedom, the system would know and it would shut the UK out of the system, which means at that point, all our banking goes down, our healing goes down, our internet goes down, because by then everything will be switched on to that big Starlink system. That's how they keep the checks and balances in, because not one country owns that entire pie. Each country has a piece of the pie. And this is what the holdup is right now. This is why we're waiting, because they've been getting all of that into place so that when they switch it all on, no country can abuse it.
So you're essentially saying that we're going to find out at some point in the future that everybody who's gotten this thing was actually to their benefit, potentially.
Could possibly be that.
I know a lot of people who are going to have resistance to even put like, because then, okay.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, what I'm gonna get a thing in my arm, an artificial thing in my arm so that I can cross borders and travel and things like that. Yeah, I think after everything that everybody's found out in this world about all the nefarious stuff, it's going to be really tough for them to swallow. So I wonder how they're going to spin that if it is true. Let me ask, Hama Natain Sashain Hiking. So wow. They said after the awakening. After the awakening.
A few steps back, Amy, you said about consciousness, and they told us about, said about consciousness. Well, by the time we're in 5D, we're not going to be looking at things in the same way. We're not going to need to act in the same way
That's
against.
so true.
In terms
That
of like
so
law
true.
and order,
Yes.
in terms of law and order, it's going to look completely different. We're not having top-down systems anymore. We have to be in control of ourselves.
Wow. I'm getting cards about like the awakening card, wanting to do things from a place of integrity, knowing your place, making deals and going away from well, this is one of my favorite cards to see right now during these times, because this is the flip. This means that the way that it's been going, all this momentum that's been building for the nefarious agenda is going to like flip on its end and go the other direction. So for good. There are deals being struck right now. People are fighting for the right thing to happen, and the awakening is happening. So
Wow, this is so nice to hear someone else backing up what they've been telling me for 2 years. I've actually taken a lot of stick on here from other truthers because I've been saying this. Yeah,
well, I have a lot of resistance to it. I mean, but I've always been like, you may have a strong opinion about something, but if there's new information that comes, I think it's very intelligent to consider that information, always keeping an open mind and an open heart and listening to your own intuition about it. And then you can change your story if you want to. That's a mark of intelligence, I feel.
I mean, the other thing is, I don't think anyone's saying that anybody is going to be forced to go and have one of these in order to have this material that will link in.
What will people do that want to go the organic route?
I think what they're saying is that if anyone's had something put in that could be nefarious right now, if that is even the case, it could actually be switched on for a good purpose later on. And if you've been someone that is adamantly not wanting to go down that route, then I think that from what they've been explaining to me, we're going to have some kind of technology. Again, it will be a nanotechnology, and it might be on maybe a credit card type system. I mean, not much different probably to having a paper passport, but much more secure, I would imagine. And in the past, they've told me it would be a passporting system, which would be retina controlled, which I think that we already have that at London anyway. When you go into London Airport, I haven't been to London Airport for quite a number of years, but I do remember having a scan done of my face at certain border control points. So that's already something that's in place. And a lot of people already carry their phones around with them all day, or a Fit watch thing. So in a way, we're kind of already connected to something, but in the future, it'll be connected to something that's not spying on us. It's actually just checking that we're okay in line with the new treaties, which is that we're being looked after and not surveilled or punished.
And I just got the cards about it being the end of a difficult period and the healing happening. Both of them are about endings and beginnings. So I think we're right on the precipice of all of the scary stuff stopping and the rebuilding happening.
Yeah,
the restoration.
Let's hope so.
I know, right?
Ricardo Bosi said, I don't want to put a timeline on it, but he said next 4 to 6 weeks of pain, and then we'll start ascending. I don't know if he meant necessarily all over the world, because I would imagine each country would have their timeline, but maybe it's all around the same, within the same, 4 to 6 weeks or whatever. Like, each country would start doing, you'd see it, because it'd be funny. It would be strange, almost as if like every country went into lockdown at the same time in March last year, pretty much. If every country just stopped it at the same time as well, I mean, that would be interesting. But
I think that's the plan, though. I think that's the plan.
So.
Just all at the same time. That's the hold up. That's the hold up. because they've got certain pieces in place okay in certain parts, and other places, because of the magnitude of it, and because they're signing in lots of different types of political leaders and cultures and regimes, obviously that part of it takes a little bit of time. That's
Yeah,
what
you
we're
got to
waiting.
orchestrate
Yeah,
200
that's
something
what we're waiting
countries.
on.
Yeah.
We're not waiting on audits, and I mean, they're just all distractions.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Right. So question 4, it seems very similar to question 1. Because the first question was, is
Oh,
the
we've
nano...
done that. Yeah, I think that's probably, yeah, we don't need to do number 4 because that's very similar. Yeah. So we go on to number 5.
Yeah, is there an antidote to the thing that goes in your arm?
I just got a yes. Let me check. It's hidden. They're making deals. And yes, they're going to make up for the regret. And they're going to bring harmony and peace. It might involve the military.
Okay.
It might be distributed through the military. And it's going to, something to give back from the lack too. And working together, collaborating, going to the next level. Yeah, I think it's going to be like when something has happened, it's going to come in. It's like, again, with that ending and then a beginning. So it's like, okay, guys, now that you've all been scared out of your wits, here comes the soothing and the salve.
The soothing.
Well, yeah, we need something like that, don't we? I mean, when everybody finds out
Seriously.
about what's really going on, we're gonna need some big saving grace or some really good news to lighten the mood.
Okay. Well, I did just get the same card about it's being taken over by good people. We get that consistently.
Yeah.
And then this just said, this has not quite concluded and could grow increasingly uncomfortable before it resolves, though. Stay positive to manifest the best timeline. So, but this has come to, or is soon to come to, a happy ending. It has played itself out and is being resolved now. So yeah, we just have to
So we still have some pain before it gets better, but it won't be too long.
Yeah, probably a bit more scarce. Yeah, but it hasn't it kind of felt like there's a whole list of things that the NWA had in store, and so they almost have to put that scare. It's like, it is like a movie. Like they got it. Okay, check. That's gone out. That's gone out. Scared everybody on this, and this. We still have like 3 to 5 items left to scare the pants off of people.
Yeah.
So that's what it feels like. It's like, so I just
so I've got a bit of a controversial answer to this one, because they're saying the question was, is there an antidote to the vaccine? And they said no. And you're thinking no, but they said it's not necessary, as there's nothing harmful in the vaccines. This is very controversial. So I don't know how that's going to play out, but they have actually said that to me quite a lot of times, all the way through.
That's a tough one, because I mean, there are so many reasons to die. There are so many reasons that it's hard to pinpoint it on that, but I've known so many people, like one particular person died like 5 minutes right after taking it. They were sitting in the waiting room and they just, their aunt died right in front of them. So I mean, there's so many cases I've heard of people dying from it. So that's a hard one to swallow. However, having an open mind, I think it is possible that could have been a scare tactic all along. So why not? I mean, why not? Why not? We're dying of the flu all the time. We're dying of getting hit by a car. They're calling it CV-19 anyway.
I think as we go through the questions, this will open up a bit. Okay. So we don't have to explain it all right now, because I think as we go through the questions, it will start to explain itself.
We'll have
Okay,
to do
good.
the entire question list in two parts because there are many more questions, and where are we up to? We maybe we can get to the end of this page, depending on how long
Oh,
the
the
answers
white.
are. But
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
So are the white hat doctors, are we on that one, number
the other
6?
doctors giving information about the V's to wake people up.
Yes.
Okay, so I got no.
And I got a yes here too.
Okay.
Okay.
So I got a no. I got the intentions of the white hat doctors is good. They believe that there are materials in the vaccine in this that are harming people. But they also then said that most doctors are not I can't say that word, into genetics. And they're not,
Geneticists.
yeah, and they're not experts in nanotechnology. And that's not to be rude to anybody, but they're saying that the doctors are saying this stuff because they truly believe that is what's happening. They believe that that's what's going on.
Hmm.
They're not doing it to wake people up. They actually believe what they're being told. The white hat doctors believe what they're being told.
Yeah. Yeah. I do believe that too. I mean, actually, yeah, totally. I think the yes was a bigger picture yes, not a specific yes, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that's okay. Because
Yeah.
we're coming at it from different angles. So and with different explanations. So they've given an explanation for why they said no, but your answer was related to a different perspective. So that's
Exactly.
perfectly fine. Yeah.
Yeah. They both make sense. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the whole point of today, is that we're bringing in all the elements and we're looking at it from all different sides so that everyone's got like a bigger picture instead of getting drawn constantly down these two lanes. Like you were saying, Amy, we need to keep out of the two lanes and we need to stand back and look at everything with a bigger perspective of what is this all about?
Yeah.
We need to stop getting drawn into statistics and hysteria.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, how long have the White Hats and Alliance been gaining control?
How long have the White Hats and the Alliance been gaining control? I actually get about 8 years. 8 years. Are you sure that's not months? Months, years.
So that's really interesting because I have been channeling this week, and they said that they have been making inroads for 15 years, but have only in the last 8 years got a foothold.
You're kidding me.
No, I'm not. And it's in
Oh my gosh.
It's going in my video later today.
Oh my gosh. I love it.
That is incredible. We both
That's
got
interesting.
that.
So
Yeah.
in the last 8 years, so since 2013. Because you think, because there were so many terrorist attacks, in where people, the same person appeared in more than one, right, as a witness, or the Charlie Hebdo one in France, where there was footage of one of the terrorists going up to one of the guys with an assault rifle, shooting right in the head, and there was no blood. So I see those things, and I'm wondering, like, who did that? Was it the black hats or the white hats? Was it the white hats waking us up, or was it the black hats just getting very lazy and thinking we're all stupid?
Oh, totally.
I think it's been the white hats. They've been trying to wake us up for a long time.
Yeah. Okay. So if the white hats are in control now, then how was the CV-19 allowed to happen?
Okay, if the white hats are in charge, how was it allowed to happen?
Yeah.
I do feel like it was not what it was. It wasn't as harmful as it was supposed to be, like it was designed to be. So I honestly feel like it's just a cold or a flu. It's just a regular illness. It's not any big deal. I don't know how they would have, I think it's more the fear that, the fear pushing through the media, that's more dangerous than the illness itself. And it's another example, like she was talking about the vaccines. Well, you're on my screen, so I'm talking to you, but Michelle was talking about how, she doesn't feel like the V's were dangerous. I feel the same way about the other thing, but I feel like people are passing away for natural reasons, and for it maybe a coincidence. You know what I feel like it is? I feel like it could be black magic, actually. I feel like there are some nefarious people doing black magic that could be causing that's even worse than these other two things. But anyway, that's getting off subject. I think it was allowed because it was tampered with, and it's a lot less harmful than it was going to be. That's my answer.
Okay, so I got that the virus is a psychological tool for awakening, a bioweapon. So it's a bioweapon because it's being used to psychologically, be used as a tool. They're saying that the virus has been manipulated to awaken the people. And it will in time show the people how to trust in their own discernment and how to act in their own sovereignty.
Yes. Yeah.
To not just follow the government doctrine and question everything. Okay.
100%.
Yeah, that makes sense. For sure. Are the nanoparticles going to be hooked up to the quantum system?
Yes. Associations. Yes, they're planning on it.
That
Yeah,
kind of goes off of what we were saying before.
Yeah. I got yes. In the future, the nanoparticles could be used with light, sound, and vibration to create a healing technology.
That might also involve the military, possibly. For some reason, the military card popped up.
Yeah. That makes sense. Well, they're part of the alliance, so that makes sense. Yeah.
All right. Are the nanoparticles in all of the things that go in your arm?
I get a yes. Not knowing what a nanoparticle is, I get a yes.
So for that one, I got
Is it the same as nanotech, Michelle? Because is nanoparticles the same as nanotech?
So that's going to come up in the next section. The ingredients are coming up next. We're going to break down all the ingredients. But in answer to are the nanoparticles in all the, I actually got
in all, you said all, that was a trick.
I got no, that they are only in the experimental ones.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah.
Okay, so the next question is, which of them are experimental?
Which ones are experimental?
Yeah, which of them?
Pretty much all the CV19 ones. Pretty much all the CV19, I would say. I've never even heard them being called experimental until then.
Well, they're saying to me only the ones that contain the nanotechnologies. So what was the question? What are said that word again. What doodahs are experimental? They just said the ones containing the nanotechnologies, which is kind of going round in a loop.
First question, though, you said that there was no nanotech in them. That was your answer, wasn't it? No.
She said no nanoparticles.
No nanotech.
Which one are we talking about? Going back.
Question one.
Oh, we'll have to go back and listen to all that again. So they're saying there are no nanoparticles, only in the experimental doodahs.
Yeah. But what was your answer to which of them are experimental? Which of the V's are experimental?
They're saying only the ones that are containing the nanotech.
Right, exactly. But the first question, you said that there's no nanotech in them, if my memory serves.
I said that. I think I said they're not hooked up yet. Is that what we said?
No, because Amy had a different answer. Amy had a long answer, and then you just said no.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll have to go back and listen because that's like pages away, pages back.
Okay,
So we'll go back and listen.
last two questions for this page, and then we're going to be running out of time. And I must go to bed because I'm getting very tired. Is a bioweapon called CV-19 a psychological war game?
Okay, say it again, sorry.
Is a bioweapon called CV-19 a psychological war game?
Yes.
Yeah, I've got yes. I've said they told me that C19 is the code name for bioterrorism to gain control over the masses to conduct a mass psychological experiment.
Okay. And then the final question for this page is the bioweapon used to kill?
It was going to be. It's going to be.
So I got no. It was only going to retrain the masses psychologically because it's a psychological weapon.
Yeah, it's so interesting how we're saying it, like the different perspective thing.
Yeah.
We keep doing that, but I love it because it's like we're together, we're covering the whole thing. Yeah.
So the last bit is just the ingredients.
Kind of like the same similar question to why was it allowed? Because it was really to wake people up and to
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.